Electric vehicles are revolutionizing transportation, with global sales surpassing 10 million units in 2022. But beneath this green revolution lies a growing challenge that few are discussing. What happens to the massive lithium-ion batteries powering these vehicles when they reach the end of their useful life? These behemoths, weighing between 400 and 1,200 pounds each, represent both an environmental hazard if improperly disposed of and a treasure trove of valuable materials if properly recycled. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of EV battery afterlife, exploring the challenges, innovations, and promising solutions that could transform this potential crisis into a cornerstone of sustainable transportation. The numbers are staggering. By 2030, the International Energy Agency projects that over 12 million metric tons of EV batteries will reach their end-of-service life. Unlike conventional lead-acid car batteries, which enjoy recycling rates above 95% in many countries, the infrastructure for recycling EV batteries remains woefully underdeveloped. What makes this particularly challenging is the lack of standardization across manufacturers. Each company designs their battery packs differently, making automated disassembly incredibly difficult. This complexity creates serious bottlenecks in processing facilities and drives up labor costs, as many batteries must be manually taken apart by technicians wearing protective equipment due to potential chemical hazards. The environmental stakes couldn't be higher. When damaged or improperly handled, lithium-ion batteries can release toxic compounds that contaminate soil and groundwater. Furthermore, the mining of virgin battery materials like cobalt, often extracted under questionable labor conditions in countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo, makes recovering these materials not just economically sensible but ethically imperative. The conventional approach to battery recycling has relied heavily on pyrometallurgical processes, essentially melting batteries in high-temperature furnaces. While this method effectively recovers certain metals, it's extremely energy-intensive, destroys many valuable components, and generates significant emissions. Think of it as using a sledgehammer when a scalpel would be more appropriate. These traditional methods might recover the cobalt and nickel, but they typically lose the lithium and graphite in the process. Given that an electric vehicle battery contains approximately $1,000 to $2,000 worth of critical materials, these losses represent a substantial economic waste. The pyrometallurgical approach also requires enormous energy inputs, sometimes requiring temperatures exceeding 1,500 degrees Celsius, which partially undermines the environmental benefits of recycling in the first place. Additionally, these processes often generate hazardous byproducts that require special handling and disposal, creating another layer of environmental concern. As the volume of end-of-life batteries grows exponentially in the coming years, these inefficient methods simply won't be sustainable at scale. Fortunately, a new generation of recycling technologies is emerging to address these limitations. Hydrometallurgical recycling, or hydromet for short, uses chemical processes to separate battery materials with remarkable precision. Unlike the brute force approach of melting, hydromet can recover up to 95% of critical materials, including the previously lost lithium and graphite. Companies like Li-Cycle in North America and Redwood Materials, founded by former Tesla CTO J.B. Straubel, are rapidly scaling these operations. Direct recycling represents another promising frontier. This approach preserves the crystalline structure of cathode materials, potentially allowing recovered materials to go directly back into new battery production without extensive reprocessing. This preservation of structural integrity could significantly reduce the energy required for recycling while maintaining the high-performance standards needed for EV applications. Perhaps most surprising is the development of biological recycling methods. Researchers at the University of California have identified specific bacteria strains that can extract lithium and cobalt from spent batteries through their natural metabolic processes. These microorganisms use specialized proteins to bind with metal ions, effectively separating them from other components. The process operates at ambient temperatures and uses minimal chemicals, dramatically reducing the environmental footprint compared to traditional methods. This bioleaching approach mimics natural geological processes but accelerates them from thousands of years to just a few days. The physical disassembly of battery packs represents one of the most significant bottlenecks in the recycling process. To address this challenge, automation companies are developing specialized robots that can identify different battery types using computer vision and precisely disassemble them according to their unique construction. This technology could dramatically increase processing capacity while reducing human exposure to hazardous materials. One Swedish company has created a fully automated system capable of processing up to 300 battery packs daily, approximately 10 times the capacity of manual disassembly operations. These robots use a combination of sensors, machine learning algorithms, and precision tools to identify battery types, locate connection points, and safely disconnect components. The systems can adapt to different designs without requiring reprogramming, a crucial capability given the variety of battery architectures in the market. Beyond improving efficiency, these automated systems significantly reduce workplace hazards. Battery disassembly carries risks of electrical shock, chemical exposure, and even fire if cells are damaged during the process. By removing humans from direct contact with these hazards, automated systems protect worker health while potentially lowering insurance and compliance costs for recycling operations. Before batteries even reach the recycling stage, many are finding productive second lives in less demanding applications. When an EV battery degrades to about 70 to 80% of its original capacity, it becomes less practical for vehicle use but remains valuable for stationary storage applications. This realization has spawned a growing industry focused on repurposing vehicle batteries for grid storage, backup power, and renewable energy integration. In Japan, Nissan has partnered with Sumitomo Corporation to repurpose leaf batteries for street lighting systems powered by solar panels. These systems store solar energy during the day and power lights throughout the night, operating completely off-grid. In the Netherlands, the Amsterdam Arena, now known as Johan Cruyff Arena, installed a remarkable 3-megawatt storage system using 148 repurposed Nissan Leaf batteries. This system provides backup power for events and offers grid services like frequency regulation and peak shaving. These second-life applications can extend a battery's useful life by 7 to 10 years before recycling becomes necessary. The economic implications are significant. McKinsey estimates that by 2030, the second-life battery market could exceed $4 billion annually. This extended life cycle dramatically improves the overall sustainability profile of electric vehicles, spreading their manufacturing footprint across more years of useful service. Beyond large-scale applications, entrepreneurs are finding ingenious uses for retired EV batteries in smaller contexts. Some companies are repurposing individual modules for home energy storage systems, allowing homeowners to store excess solar production or purchase electricity during off-peak hours. These residential systems typically use between 2 to 10 battery modules, depending on the home's energy needs, and can be installed alongside rooftop solar or as standalone storage. Others are developing portable power stations for construction sites, outdoor events, and emergency response situations. These units provide clean, quiet power without the emissions, noise, or maintenance requirements of traditional diesel generators. The mobility of these systems makes them particularly valuable for disaster response, where grid power may be unavailable for extended periods. This cascade of uses, from high-performance vehicle applications to less demanding stationary storage and finally to material recovery through recycling, maximizes the value extracted from each manufactured battery. Interestingly, the sophisticated battery management systems originally designed to optimize vehicle performance can be reprogrammed to serve these secondary applications. They provide valuable data on capacity, charge rates, and thermal conditions that ensure safe operation in their new contexts, extending the utility of not just the battery cells but the entire management infrastructure. Despite technological progress, regulatory frameworks for EV battery management remain inconsistent globally, creating a patchwork of requirements that complicate the development of efficient recycling systems. The European Union has taken the lead with proposed regulations requiring battery passports, digital records of a battery's composition, performance, and history, and setting ambitious recovery targets of 95% for cobalt, nickel, and copper by 2030. These passports would follow batteries throughout their life cycle, providing critical information to recyclers about chemical composition and potential hazards. China, the world's largest EV market, has implemented a producer responsibility system requiring manufacturers to establish recycling networks. This approach places the burden on those who profit from battery production to ensure proper end-of-life management. Meanwhile, the United States lacks a comprehensive federal policy, though California and several other states have begun developing their requirements. A particular challenge involves the transportation of used batteries, which are classified as hazardous materials in many jurisdictions. This classification significantly increases shipping costs and complicates international movement, sometimes leading to geographical mismatches between where batteries reach end of life and where recycling capacity exists. Some regions have developed specialized packaging and handling protocols to address these concerns, but harmonizing these requirements internationally remains a work in progress. As the industry matures, forward-thinking manufacturers are beginning to design batteries with end-of-life considerations in mind. This design for recyclability approach could significantly improve recovery rates and economics by making disassembly and material separation more straightforward. Some manufacturers have begun redesigning battery packs to facilitate easier disassembly and material separation at end of life. Tesla, for instance, has eliminated certain adhesives in favor of mechanical fasteners that can be quickly removed during disassembly. This seemingly small change can reduce disassembly time from hours to minutes. Similarly, Volkswagen's MEB platform features a modular battery design where individual modules can be replaced or removed without dismantling the entire pack. This modularity not only simplifies repairs during the vehicle's life but also streamlines the recycling process when the battery is retired. Other design improvements include standardized labeling systems that identify battery chemistry and construction, the use of fewer different materials within a single pack, and the elimination of rare or problematic compounds that complicate recycling. Some manufacturers are even exploring battery packs that can be disassembled using automated processes, with standardized connection points and clearly marked disassembly pathways. These design changes might add marginally to upfront manufacturing costs but can significantly reduce end-of-life expenses while improving material recovery rates. The ultimate goal for the EV industry is to create a closed-loop system where battery materials continuously cycle from vehicles to recycling facilities and back into new batteries. This circular economy approach would dramatically reduce the need for virgin material extraction while lowering the carbon footprint of battery production. Several major automakers are investing directly in this vision, recognizing that material security may become as important as technological innovation in the coming decades. Volkswagen opened a dedicated recycling plant in Salzgitter, Germany, designed to recover up to 95% of materials from the group's batteries. This facility is strategically located near their battery manufacturing operations, minimizing transportation requirements and creating a tight material loop. Similarly, General Motors has partnered with recycling companies to develop processes tailored specifically to their battery chemistries, ensuring optimal recovery rates. These vertical integration efforts reflect the strategic importance of securing battery material supply chains in an increasingly competitive market. By controlling the recycling process, manufacturers can ensure a steady supply of critical materials while potentially insulating themselves from price volatility in raw material markets. The environmental benefits of successful circular battery systems would be substantial. Life cycle analyses suggest that using recycled materials can reduce the carbon footprint of battery production by 40 to 50% compared to virgin materials. Water usage and land disruption from mining activities would also decrease proportionally. Perhaps most importantly, a functional recycling ecosystem would address concerns about material scarcity that could otherwise limit EV adoption rates. The economic implications of effective battery recycling extend far beyond the immediate value of recovered materials. As global demand for EVs continues to surge, competition for battery materials has intensified, driving price volatility and raising concerns about supply security. Recycling offers a domestic source of these critical materials, potentially reducing dependence on imports and exposure to geopolitical risks. For countries without significant mining resources, developing robust recycling capabilities represents a strategic opportunity to participate in the battery value chain. From an environmental perspective, the benefits are equally compelling. Primary production of battery materials is energy and resource intensive. Mining operations for cobalt and nickel, in particular, have been associated with significant environmental degradation and, in some cases, human rights concerns. By reducing the need for virgin material extraction, recycling addresses these impacts directly. The carbon footprint reduction is substantial. Producing cathode materials from recycled sources typically generates 50 to 70% fewer greenhouse gas emissions compared to virgin materials. Water consumption, land use, and local pollution impacts are similarly reduced. These environmental benefits compound over time as recycled content in batteries increases. The first generation of mass-market EVs is just now reaching end of life, meaning the recycling industry is processing batteries with little or no recycled content. As these materials re-enter the supply chain, each subsequent generation of batteries will contain more recycled material, creating a virtuous cycle of improving environmental performance. As we look toward the future of EV battery recycling, several challenges and opportunities emerge. One significant hurdle is the constantly evolving nature of battery chemistry. As manufacturers strive to increase energy density, reduce costs, and eliminate controversial materials, they frequently adjust formulations. These changes can complicate recycling processes designed for specific chemistries. For instance, the industry's movement toward lithium iron phosphate (LFP) batteries reduces cobalt dependency but presents different recycling challenges than traditional nickel manganese cobalt (NMC) formulations. Recyclers must develop flexible processes capable of handling diverse and evolving battery types. Another challenge involves collection logistics. Unlike lead-acid batteries, which typically fail catastrophically and require immediate replacement, EV batteries degrade gradually. This creates uncertainty about when and where batteries will enter the recycling stream, complicating capacity planning. Developing efficient collection networks that can aggregate batteries from dispersed locations will be crucial for achieving economies of scale in recycling operations. On the opportunity side, advances in artificial intelligence and robotics promise to revolutionize the identification and sorting of different battery types. Machine learning algorithms can recognize subtle differences in battery construction from visual cues, potentially enabling fully automated disassembly lines tailored to each battery's unique characteristics. Similarly, advances in chemical separation techniques could further improve recovery rates while reducing processing costs. The most exciting prospect may be the potential for battery recycling to enable a truly sustainable transportation ecosystem. If the industry can achieve high recycling rates and effectively integrate recovered materials into new production, electric vehicles could operate in a nearly closed material loop, dramatically reducing their life cycle environmental impact. As electric vehicles transform our transportation landscape, the fate of their batteries represents both a critical challenge and a remarkable opportunity. The massive scale of this issue, with 12 million metric tons of batteries reaching end of life by 2030, demands innovative solutions beyond traditional recycling methods. From hydrometallurgical processes recovering 95% of materials to surprising biological approaches using bacteria to extract valuable metals, the industry is rapidly developing more efficient, less environmentally damaging recycling technologies. Meanwhile, second life applications are extending battery usefulness by 7 to 10 years in applications ranging from stadium power storage to emergency response units, creating a $4 billion market by 2030. The ultimate vision of a closed-loop system, where materials cycle continuously from old batteries into new ones, is becoming increasingly viable as manufacturers redesign batteries for easier disassembly and establish dedicated recycling operations. This circular approach could reduce battery production's carbon footprint by 40 to 50% while addressing material scarcity concerns. Though regulatory frameworks remain inconsistent globally and technical challenges persist, the trajectory is clear. What began as an afterthought in the electric vehicle revolution is evolving into a sophisticated ecosystem that may ultimately prove as important as the battery technology itself. By transforming potential waste into valuable resources, effective battery recycling will be essential to delivering on the promise of truly sustainable transportation. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for updates. Your feedback is appreciated. We hope to see you again.